It's recording? Great, let's try.
So, what I want to make the point here is actually that all of these books right here, this Trap Mentors, Anthony Robbins, Unlimited Power, 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, kind of these, what category do you put these books in, right? It's kind of self-help books or self-development books, right? And so I'm going to make the argument here that all of these books, things like Tony Robbins, Unlimited Power, Tribe of Mentors, Power of the Conscious Mind, 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, and all of, like this book, all of these books in the category of self-development or self-help, basically are saying the same thing, right? And that's also criticism of these books, self-development books. So, but why? Why are they similar? Why do this? Why are they similar? And why do you need to read all of these, right? Why do you need to read all of the different ones? Because the thing is, people have just read this book, right? Unlimited Power. This is a fact. People have read this book and just taking action and using this book as like a manual, a template, have become millionaires, right? Right? So you don't need all of these books. In theory, you should only need one book that sort of says, write down your goals, get a bit of diet, exercise, just like do this exercise. And just note here that people, a lot of people say that, snake oil salesman, this is a scam, it's just a pyramid scheme. Well, yes and no. So again, people have gotten rich using the things from this book. So this model of Tony Robbins is basically get you rich, and when you get rich enough or wealthy enough, you're motivated to go to his expensive seminars, which is actually where he makes most of his money from the seminars themselves. And then, seminars, I don't know how much they cost, but when I last checked, it was like, a few $1,000s for a seminar, or even it can go up to tens of thousands of dollars, right? But again, people usually go to this first, and you don't need to go to seminars. That's the thing, you don't need to go to seminars, but you can just use his books. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, why do we need to read all of the different self-help books and kind of keep doing it, even though you only need one book, right? In theory, right? In theory, you should only need one book, because you can implement all the steps here and become a millionaire. It's a fact. Of course, you need to work hard, but you can implement them. The reason I believe is that, as we all know, the human mind is fickle, right? You can easily get quickly motivated, but that motivation can quickly disappear, because motivation isn't a real thing, right? Motivation is just, it's a transitory thing. It comes and disappears easily as the wind, right? But what is you can do something about, and what is developed, and what is actually a skill you can grow, is discipline, right? You can become disciplined, and that's a habit you can work on, and actually it's achievable, right? Or you can discipline or consistency. That is actually, you can prove that. You can prove that someone is disciplined and consistent, because I've done this for a year, 5 years, 10 years. I've done this every day. I've been consistent, and it will achieve results. Motivation, I've been motivated every day. I've been motivated, motivation, I've been motivated every day. Harder to measure, right? And the thing is, with the human mind, it needs to be reminded. Constantly, it needs to be reminded that you need to be better, get better, just improve. Because what else is there to do, right? You can either, again and again, it's a stereotype, get busy dying or get busy living, right? Get busy living or get busy dying. It's either or. You need to be reminded every week, every day, every second, every minute that you, or at least that's what I believe, you need to work on yourself in some manner or way. So you might read this, right? You read this, you get all the goals, you get all the, I'm so motivated, I'm going to do all this, and you do it for a few weeks. Maybe if you're good at people, sometimes, I think the average Was it a study that said that like how long a person actually does something when it starts something new, like average, when you get motivated to, like, for example, workout, right? So let's say I want to start running. I think it was just the average person starts something new starts it, does it for a few days and quits, right? It's just the human flame is just like, started and bam, out like this. It goes so fast how motivation just disappears, right? So 1 week you read this, get all the things from this, great. But then you need to continue, for example, with a book like Tribe of Mentors. Like, it's a great book. Tim Ferriss, just reading about, actually this is how advice from successful people, and you read that for a week, you continue with that, and thing also, then you might need, actually I need to raise, because these are more general ones, these ones, and for example, with also I think the 7 habits of highly effective people, Think and Grow Rich, even though, controversies, blah, blah, I don't care. Self-help is, if it's help someone achieve something, then I would say that's a good thing, right? Or become better. And then you might read those general ones, like this one, which is like all-encompassing, but then, actually I need to work on my self-esteem, because I don't have a high self-esteem, then this is a good one. Or just, 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, a good book. Or, even though, so some might not think, some might think this is like a kind of hocus pocus, scammy, like, you need to think about positive thoughts, but hey, I find it good. I found something valuable in it. And that is the point. I found something valuable in it. And it helped me in a certain way. Like, do I always used to have I think I read it a few years ago, and have I continuously used all the different things here? No, I can't say I have. But it gave me a perspective on certain areas of my life and my thought process and my subconscious mind, right? And this is the thing. You read these books, and many of these books, even though they all say similar things, right? Similar, of course, it's in nuances, right? Even though they say all the same things, like all of these books say the same thing. And what is the key point they're all saying? They're saying it's all dependent on you, right? That's what they're saying. And it's my understanding. They are saying it's all dependent on you. You are the master of your life, journey, whatever you would like, adventure, but it's all dependent on you. We had a saying when I was in the military, of course, in Norwegian, was like, "Det er meg det kommer an på." Everything is dependent on you. Everything is your fault. Everything up until this point is your fault. If you can accept that, even the things that this guy did this girl did this, environments, whatever, if you can accept that it's all dependent on you, and read this book, what that also means is that, everything up until this point has been my fault, but that means I can change it as well. I can actually grab destiny and do something about it. And that's the point of these books. Even though, a lot of people, they come say that, it's all bullshit, self-help development, blah, 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 blah. And sure, yes, it's a lot of crap out there. But the thing is, if you don't need to buy any seminars, you don't need to buy, and that's the thing, you don't need to buy this expensive soup. I do believe that some of them have merit to them, and it's not a bad thing, but the thing is, you don't have to use them. You can just buy books. This one, and books you can find super cheap. Just go online or a used bookstore. I think I bought this for like $5. $5 and get life-changing advice. I mean, come on, it's for me that's well worth my money, right? And I don't need to go on the seminars. I don't need to. I can just use, if myself, I do set up tasks and get a habit of actually doing the things. For example, how to get friends and influence people. Again, one of the better books I would say in the self-development field. But saying generally become more interesting people, right? So good book. This is kind of a rant video because because this is basically it's a blueprint, right, to success if you follow it. And the thing is, you need to always keep doing it. That's the point, because you can do this for, let's say, 16 months, and then you decide, like, you know what, I've gotten it. I've gotten the idea here, so now I can stop developing myself. I'm good, right? It's like I think it was Alex Moss like said, yeah, it's out of the game, right? It's out of the game. He said once about people who kind of just, no, I'm stopped. I can stop growing. The thing is, you can't, because you either go up or down. Doesn't mean that you need to, go full hog all the time, always 24/7, like 8 hours a week, but just recognize that you, and also I as well, the human mind is so fickle. It can, if you don't keep it in check, it will go spiral downwards. That is a fact. I think my point here is that even though all of these books say basically the same thing, it's all dependent on you. I think it's good to still keep on reading them, because all of them say it in a different way, even like reading similar books. It will say it in a different way that will stick to you. It will stick to you in a certain way that it will hit you. Because the thing is, you might read this book, and of course you're not going to retain all of it. Of course not. But you will retain something, and that's the important key here. You will retain some key things that hit you, like, oh, that actually applies to my life a lot. And actually I can see that working for myself. Because everyone has their own personalized journey of how they will achieve success in their life. And what is success here? Success is defined by you, right? Basically, all of these books say the same thing, and that's okay. Because one book might hit that person differently, and one book might hit that person differently, and one book might change your life. But you don't know which one. So you just have to keep on reading, keep on reading, and keep on reading. And you will find little wisdom there, and it all starts creating an individual that has all of these tools for themselves, so they can improve their life and just basically develop themselves. And there's one note here at the end. If you think these books are a scam, you're right. Sure, you're right. But if you think these books are the best thing that ever happened to you, and you get value for them, you're right. That's all. Done. Really done.